Hey everybody, welcome to Wikia Fan vs. Critic. I'm Grae Drake from Rotten Tomatoes, and this episode of The Walking Dead that we're talking about is Season 5, Episode 15, Try, as in try to make it through this episode without falling asleep. I am joined, as always, by my faithful fan friend, WalkerTexasRanger.
It's good to be back. Let's make this review better than the episode.
That won't be too hard, right? Don't forget, by the way, got a mute card so you can use it, and I would like to start by talking about Carl and Enid sitting in a tree. Literally, they're not even K-I-S-S-I-N-G, they're just
let's actually leave Carl and Enid with that tree, because I really couldn't care less about them, to be honest. Sasha and the way she reacted throughout the episode, it turns out it was as a result of everything that happened to Noah. And him being ripped into pieces. It just shows how this group is such a family that whenever one of them dies, they all die a little bit inside. When you lose family like that, you hold yourself responsible.
I agree, and I'll tell you that I also really like that moment where she's hunting the big field of zombies, and Michonne realizes that's where she was once emotionally. Did like that moment. I thought that was clever, and I won't hold it against you that you won't let me talk about Carl and Enid, but I will say that I'm hoping that the love of Enid causes Carl to cut his hair. So at the end of the episode, I think really the only other thing that even happened in this episode is that Rick has gone cuckoo bananas again, and first he fights with Pete, and then he gets clocked.
Yeah. Sorry, there's one thing on that. Michonne, I don't know how big she is, but she's not a bodybuilder or anything like that. And Rick is this crazy man motivated by being crazy. So I feel like it would take a lot more than a simple smack to the back of the head to knock him out.
I don't know, she's really strong, but I mean, literally every episode that we've talked about, you love the fights. So how was this fight?
Okay, so on my official fight meter, I would give this 80% fresh. It's not as good as the Rick versus the Governor or Rick versus Shane or any of those other fights, but it was kind of refreshing to get back to, as weird as it sounds, it was refreshing to get back to the wildness that we've seen from Rick so many times, like when he ripped out Joe's throat.
Oh, wait a second. I'm muting you because it's not refreshing to see Rick go crazy. We spent a whole a season basically watching him grieve and go cuckoo. And although that provides the rest of the cast with a lot of really good opportunities to shine, I'm over it. And this season makes me think that we're doing something new, and Rick being crazy is not new. So although I dug the fight, and I'm glad that Pete got the snot kicked out of him, I'm wondering now where we're gonna go.
Yeah, I'll concede there that I feel like the season finale will end up being an hour of nothing, 20 minutes of commercials, and then 10 minutes of action. So
right.
So we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I really hope that that's not the case. So let's just quit talking about this episode because there's literally nothing else to say. We have already said everything that needs to be said. The only conversation that's left is for everybody watching to decide who won this argument. So as usual, leave your comments below and tell us who you agreed with more. Do you agree with WalkerTexasRanger or Grae Drake from Rotten Tomatoes? All right, so next week is the season finale, and so you get to say goodbye for the second to last time.
All right, well, I'll see you guys then. Fingers crossed that it's a big one.
I know, right? Ugh, at least we can agree on that. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.